Hello everybody, this is Val with This Is How You Do It. I'm making chicken and dumplings. I put a whole chicken, a whole fryer, and some water, garlic salt, seasoned salt, and that's it. And I cooked the chicken till it fell up to all the meat fell off the bone, and I'm fishing out the bones right now. Fishing out the bones. Now, when I finish cooking this, I'm gonna let this cook a little bit more. Some people fish out all their meat and then they boil their potatoes. Now I have 4 red potatoes that I had in the refrigerator. You can kind of get whatever kind you want, but that's just what I had. I'm gonna take these 4 potatoes here. 4 potatoes. Peel them, dice them, and then pour them in the broth, in the chicken, and let it cook some more. And then I got some flour or some biscuit that I'm gonna make a batter out. I'm gonna use the chicken broth to make the dumplings and throw them off in there, and then I'll show you the next step. After you cut up your potatoes, which I have cut the potatoes up, I'm not just going to cook it in the broth. I'm not going to fish out my meat like some people do. I'm just going to put my potatoes inside of my chicken because I'm letting my chicken cook even more while the potatoes are in there. Just drop your potatoes in there. This is 4 small potatoes. Give it a stir. Let your potatoes cook until they are tender. If you like, you could put some mixed vegetables in there. And if you use mixed vegetables, you can take a handful of these and drizzle them in there. And I think I will. That would help stretch the meal. Now, as y'all know, little Carlos is here, and I'm making, he's on table food, a chicken and dumpling. So I'm going to throw some veggies in there and let them cook down. Just a small amount. That way you're getting your vegetables in there also. And if you could really make a pot pie out of this also. Now we're going to let this cook. I'm going to cover and come back and show you how to make the dumpling. I'm finna make up my dumplings now. I could have used some of the chicken broth that came off the chicken, but I need some more broth, and I'm going to add some of this to it. But this is, well, this is the wrong broth. Let me get some chicken broth. Chicken broth. Now, pull this tab off. I melted some Crisco. You can use butter. There is a dash of salt in there, and we're measuring according to the eye. I'm not using water. I'm giving my dumplings a little flavor. Just stir it up until, if you put too much water in it, just add more flour. I already have my surface on the other side of the kitchen ready to roll out my dough. And I'm going to use a pizza cutter to cut my dumplings. If you don't know how to do this, you can use biscuits and flatten it and make it, or you can use biscuit. I use flour, or you can use pancake mix and do the same thing that I just did. See how it comes off? Now I'm going to use the hand. Hands have already been through water several times. To help me maneuver this out of here, I may add a little flour to get every little crumb out. But I don't think I'm going to have to do that. You don't work your dough too much either. Now once I get this out of here, take this dough, move it around in the hand like this, and then take it over here, working in the flour, and roll out the dumplings. And I'll be back. I cleaned my surface. This is all the surface that I was going to need to make this amount of dough. Now it has a coat of flour over the surface. I used a cup. I do have a rolling pin, but it's a little small. I need to invest in another one. So I used a cup, just how they do it in the old days, and you roll it out just like that. You get it as flat as you want your dumplings to be. You just roll it out. This piece right here, already a piece of dumpling I'm just going to throw in there. They do not have to be perfect. All you want is your dough going in it. Slice it like that. That's all she wrote, y'all. The dough has not been worked that hard. Cross it like this. A small bowl of this. Like I said, I was making this for Carlos. Would be great for him. He got all his vegetables, and if your baby don't have two teeth or don't eat as well as Carlos do, you can always put it in a pureer and pulse it, and then it'll be like baby food. See how that is? Lift them up. You can stack them, or you can just go from the board into the pan. Just like that. Dumplings. And you can also just cut that again if you think that is too wide. And they will swell. Be back in a little bit and we'll be dropping them in. I added the rest of the chicken broth to my chicken and vegetables. I'm going to put some more, and as you add water or broth to this, add more seasoning. I'm going to put a little garlic salt in it. And by me putting garlic salt in it, and this is the Lowry, and seasoned salt in it, I'm not going to use table salt. I'm going to put some black pepper in it. Dumplings are great with black pepper. So I'm seasoning this, and I'm going to wait till the potatoes get tender. And there's your green vegetables. Now if you want to, as I said earlier, you can make yourself a dough roux. Just add some chicken broth to some flour, stir it up, and then whisk it in here, and then it'll thicken it. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let the dumplings thicken it. Here are my dumplings. I have cut them up in little squares like this. And as it cook, then I will be dropping them in. Dropping them in. No rhyme, no reason on how they're done. Cover those up with a towel or set them in the refrigerator covered until this is ready. Cover the lid, let cook. You can let it simmer, cook slowly, and add them in once you think that it's ready. The potatoes have cooked till they're tender. I will give you a look-see. Leaning against the side, and then Goes right through. Now I'm going to put in the dumplings. Just gradually drop some in. Just drop them all over the place. They don't have to be close together. Some people do this stage without the meat and all of that stuff in there, just the broth. But I'm like, why? And it's starting to swell, so I'll know how many to put in. My dumplings are cut really small. Take a few minutes for your dumplings to cook. Let's drop them in. They always say make sure they don't stick, but you see how I'm moving it around. And mine are not sticking. When you want chicken and dumplings, I don't really think you can have too many dumplings. And always season to taste also. Season to your taste. You want a lot of black pepper, put some black pepper in it. If you like salt, put your salt in it. Just be careful with the amount that you put in there. Health-wise, not for taste-wise, because you can love the taste of it, but it might not love you. And the rest of that stuff, the little flour in the bottom of the pan, I'm putting it in there. It'll be just like a roux. It'll just make it, it'll just thicken the juice. Make it a white, thick juice as it cooks. Now I'm going to turn this down on low. Stop stirring. Don't want to tear up the dumplings too much. And then we'll have some chicken and dumplings ready for dinner. It's still early in the morning, as you can see the clock. And my chicken and dumplings are already ready. Can you see the clock? It is 7:35 in the morning. And my dinner is ready. And I will show you the plating in a little while. I'm going to let you see how it's coming along. I've already added some black pepper in it. Now the dough, I'm letting it cook some more so it can not be doughy. But that's how it's coming along. And as you can see, because I stirred it a little bit and poured everything in there, it has made its thick broth. That thick broth that you look for in a chicken and dumpling, there it is. I'm going to let it cook a few more seconds. I don't want to disturb it too much. But it's about ready. It's about ready. Something to stick to the bones, stick to the ribs, and very filling. Now we're going to plate our chicken and dumplings. And there you have it, y'all. Chicken and dumplings, see? You have your veggies, your potatoes. I'm just showing you little pieces right now. And then you have your dumplings. Your dumplings. And this is a homemade, home-style chicken and dumpling. And this is Val with This Is How You Do It. Gonna give it a taste. I'm not gonna move the camera, so I'm gonna bend down to it. Let's close the pot up so you can see me. Get a little dumpling, little veggies, little stew, and this it is. This is really good. Really, really home cooked, comforting food. And this is Val with This Is How You Do It. And I see all of you guys on the next video. Bye bye now.